All right. Good morning, everyone. It is 11:13 in the morning of September 16th, 2021, and today I get to do a $103 recap. Um, Life started popping up on the scanner, and so I took a stab at it for, let's see, looks like I traded 700 shares on Life. And then IRNT made a really quick move over its sort of opening Fibonacci, and so I bought and sold there. IRNT was a really fast mover. That was a tough one to trade. Yeah, I'll show you. It went into a halt too. So I have the 5-minute chart up. I'm going to pull up the 1-minute chart here. So the first trade that I took on IRNT this morning, where's my Fibonacci? I know I just moved it by accident. Where did I move it to? I don't know why. Where is it? Here it is. Sometimes when I scroll over, I'll grab a part of the Fibonacci lines or something. It's annoying. Okay. So this morning IRNT, I didn't have orders ready to go pre-market on this thing, and I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I just clicked into it instead. So I took this trade right here. So it broke down past the 75% level, retracement level, and came down here and hit the 68.1. That would have been a really nice entry. Usually if I have entries, if I enter at the 61.8, it's because I've entered those trades right at the opening bell. I've entered those orders right at the opening bell or just before the opening bell. This thing was starting, and so let me back it up just a little bit more actually. So here's the pre-market action right here. And here's this resistance line. This thing was forming a downward wedge from basically 6:30 in the morning all the way up until it's open here. You can see right before it's open, it tried to jab through this downward resistance, couldn't hold it, and then started really dumping. And so if I thought that this thing would have reliable levels at the 61.8 and the 50, then I would have entered it. I'm skeptical on it because for two reasons, or actually three reasons. It ran up to 59, ran up to $60 a share basically pre-market, and then couldn't hold that level, couldn't hold any level actually, and then pre-market actually dipped below its open, as it turns out. This thing just, it wasn't trustworthy enough to put in pre-market orders. And so I didn't. What I did do though was pay close attention to it for it to move past the Fibonacci, which it did. It actually jammed past it real fast here, but it happened so quickly I didn't have time to pull the trigger. Now then it happened here. So I was in at roughly $41 a share on 4 minutes into the day. And it ran up, and so all I'm looking for is a 1% move, and that's 41 cents essentially. And on this opening move past that Fibonacci right there, I got 51 cents a share on only 100 shares. I didn't take much risk on it at all. I only traded 100 shares. I could have traded a little bit heavier on that move right there, but again, I just didn't really trust it. So I got a little bit better than a 1% move, and then dumped it, and was just kind of like, okay, And then I just watched this thing, and so here's the morning high, and then here's a break of the resistance, right? So this right here, you'd think that might be a trade right here. This move right here over this sort of red resistance line here, but it's not, because here's the next level of resistance, which is only a few cents higher. So an entry for the break of this resistance at 44.91, would then have resistance at 45.57. I guess, yeah, there's a trade there because, it did make a, let's see, from roughly, we'll call it 79 to 57, so roughly an 80-cent move there. But the price was moving so fast, and there was a rather significant gap between the bid and the ask. Right now it's 15 cents wide. It's kind of bobbling back and forth between 36 and 36 on the bid and 36.15 or so on the ask. And so between an entry on whether I got on the bid or the ask, and then an exit whether I got in on the bid or the ask, and just with the speed this thing was moving, I just I didn't feel this was a high probability setup. And then you can see here in the next minute, it tumbled from $45.57 here down to $42.74, almost a $3 move in less than a minute. And then 2 minutes after that, it dropped down to $40.67. So a $5 drop in the span of 3 minutes. And that's the way this thing was just behaving. It opened at 44 roughly, and dropped down to 39.68, so almost a $5 drop at the open. And this is after it hit a high of $60 pre-market, and then just couldn't hold on. So I managed to scalp a trade there, managed to scalp some cash, but after that, I just it was working on making this. Oh, look at that. I was working on making this wedge right here, but then now it's broken down below that, and it's it's down at $35 a share right now, or it made a load right down here, and here it is. I have a 25-cent retracement, or 25% retracement instead of whatever the Fibonacci is. I've forgotten what it is. I prefer to use 75 and 25 rather than and I don't even remember what the Fibonacci levels are. But yeah, basically, it came down here to this 25%, real close to this 25% level, and has found support. But still, super ugly. I mean, that's just about as ugly as it gets. Let me clean up the daily chart here a little bit, get some things out of the way, so you just can kind of see where everything stands. Yeah, look at that. Huge. It's called a gap and crap. So opened at roughly 44, roughly 44, and is now tumbled down to as low as 35. That's just a gap and crap. And there's really no reason for this thing. There's no new news. There's nothing new going on with the stock that would have it move. Make this kind of move. This is just all purely technical. So, the news that it came out with was like back here on the 27th of August. Let me see. IRNT completes business combination with LGL Systems Acquisition Corp. And so this is all basically after, and so earnings here, and earnings weren't even, they weren't that great. It was, on the 14th of September. Here we are on the 16th. Just a tough stock to trade, and not a high probability setup. Fortunately, I managed. Okay, so Life caught my attention right here after it crossed, and this is only a technical setup again. Here's the daily on Life, and I was just kind of looking through. I have this somewhere on a small cap or a momentum somewhere, and it happened to start hitting the scanner, and so I brought it up, and I didn't have a Fibonacci on it when I brought it up, but I threw this Fibonacci on it real quick. And so it was breaking through the 61.8 Fibonacci at $10.15, and as it bobbled around, I'm going to pull up the 1 minute. As it bobbled around the $10.15 area, I was buying, so I averaged into roughly roughly $10.20 on 700 shares. It actually made a pretty decent move. And right here, as soon as I clicked sell when it passed $10.50, and the thing just started bobbing. It would like dump down on me. And so I'd wait a second and then click to sell again, and it would dump down on me again. And so finally, I just let the damn thing go because I wasn't getting filled on my sell, and I only got filled on 3, 9, and 12, 19, 12, 9, and 3 cents on those shares respectively. And so just kind of, yeah, you know, so it was a trade that was worth, what is that, almost $50, you know, so, or just over $50. So yeah, not a little bit of a frustrating day. I mean, there wasn't a lot to watch. There wasn't a lot really on my scanners this morning, and so I was just kind of fishing, you know, looking for trades here, and so a couple of them, you know, did pop up. A couple of them did come to me here, but nothing really to brag about. You know, no big moves here really that I could really jump into. And let's see the broader market here. It looks like it's selling off a bit. Let's go to the SPY. Yeah, down $3.03 on the SPY. 0.68% on the day. You know, I've got on the SPX, I've got support today at 44.23. So pardon me, if the SPX made it down that far, then I'd look for entries on the SPY. Let's see, the dollar. Yeah, the dollar has hit that went up above my resistance line a little bit today. Let's see. This is 930s back here. 920, 930 is right there. So opened up above my resistance line here actually. So it actually became support. You can see here it looks like it's starting to fail down below. Looks like it's trying to fail, which will be bullish. You know, a weaker dollar's, you know, a weaker move on the dollar, you know, would be good for the markets and so forth. So and metals and so on and so on. Bitcoin. For some reason I have the 17th marked off for Bitcoin as something significant. Back here I had the 1st of August, and that was after it hit 42,000. So roughly in this time frame, I expect Bitcoin to do something. You know, here's the 16th of May, and that was, I don't know, it came down to break below this 42,000. What is that? 3 days after I marked off the 16th of May. Just seems to be a time frame where things happen. Nothing really to say about the 5th of March here. I don't really see any reason. 5th of March, but oh yeah, then the break of you know, its all-time high at 19,678. That happened on 16th of December. So we'll see what happens on the 17th. All right, everybody. That's pretty much it for me today. Good luck out there. Keep your risk tight. Click like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, tap the bell, and I will see you at tomorrow morning's strategy session. I am out.